because my next guest is here, Gabby Gaudet. For those of you that are still here, you know Gabby. Gabby, you had the pleasure of working with me in Florida. It must be so great to be joined again with me just a few months in.
Is great the right word? I think so.
I don't know. It's like a nightmare that just keeps continuing, right?
From state to state, from south to north. But no, it's amazing to be here. And you know, I actually haven't been here to Saratoga since 2012, and it's all coming back.
Yeah, that was your first time here, right? 4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years ago. That was actually technically my first job in media and horse racing, and I was working for the Saratoga Special, so I was here for the entire meet. And that was a tough job. It was day in, day out. It was it is a daily publication. Go out in the morning, you know, get quotes, write features, write race recaps. It was day in and day out, but it was definitely a meaningful experience.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with the Saratoga Special, you should really read it. It's a free publication. The Clancy Brothers put it out. It's an amazing publication. I mean, those guys, they do an incredible job every single day.
And I don't know why they keep coming back, because I know it's like the tornado that's in front of you. You know that this storm of work you're quickly approaching it. They do a fantastic job. First of all, I don't know how people can write that many words in such a short amount of time. It's fantastic. And then also just the crew that they bring in each and every year. You know, they open the door to people to establish themselves in the industry. Me, myself, it's one of them, but also Travis Stone is an alumni. Peter Fornatale is another one that works for DRF. I could go down the list, even Quinn Kessenich, who works for ESPN. So there's a Hall of Fame, as we say.
Well, Pete Fornatale actually was the stage manager for our seminars at Serling that we used to do as well for the DRF. But I agree, and Travis is actually here tonight. He was doing the morning line for us. So when you started working for them, that was your first. I mean, you're obviously your family's involved in racing. Your father's trainer, your mother's trainer, your sister's trainer. So you've been around the track your whole life. Was that your first non-family job in racing?
Yes, because I did have some internships prior to that. I interned with Maryland Horse Radio. I was still in college at the time, so I was driving into kind of downtown Baltimore after I got done with my classes. So that was kind of the first kind of a job or internship that I had, but then it kind of segued into this opportunity with the Saratoga Special, and that's when I was definitely out on my own. You know, I was living by myself, taking the world by force. So yes, in terms of having a real opportunity outside of my family, the Saratoga Special is where it was.
And we're here with Gabby Gaudet. You worked for the Strong Group. So you went to work, so after that, how long between then when you started working for the Strong Group in the Maryland Jockey Club, now working at Laurel and Pimlico?
I went to, after I finished Saratoga Special in 2012, I had to go back to college, and then
What's it like at college?
Oh my gosh, I was dragging. It's tough leaving Saratoga in general, but definitely go back to college. Oh my gosh, it's awful. But that happened, and then I believe I got the position at the Maryland Jockey Club in March, and that was after we did auditions. So I really didn't have anything leading into that in terms of experience. And let me tell you, I don't get nervous anymore, really, but I was so nervous. I was physically ill doing the auditions for
Did anybody see these auditions?
Oh.
Okay, so they have these auditions, and here's what happened. They have 4 people. One of them, Dylan Smith, had come up to Aqueduct and spent a day with myself and Jason and Eric and hung out with us. And that's really the only reason we watched. So Dylan came up, it was you, it was Ryan Fogelsong, the jockey. Songer, the jockey. He was on a reality show or something. And it was somebody else. Who's the other one?
Jackie's boy.
Okay, so we all watched, Jason, Eric, myself, it was the winter, and we all watched because Dylan was up. So we're watching these things, and Gabby's going to be nice about it, but Gabby was like secretary at the Belmont compared to her competition. We all watched and we went, oh, she's getting the job. You did not feel this way.
I actually remember Maggie texting me that day, too.
Maggie was watching with us as well. I was trying to remember, and she was there, right? She was there as well.
She texted me, and, I think I give credit to that because with working with me, I'm, really
She's
quick.
awful.
I'm quick, on the ball. If someone asks me to do something, I do it really quickly. So I got an email from the Vice President of Communications and said, email me which spot you want to go on, whether it's first, second,
Mike
third,
Gaffigan.
or last. Mike Gaffigan. And I emailed him in like 30 seconds because that's just my typical type of nature. And I said, I want to go last so I can see everybody else go, and then, you know, create an approach from there. And it seemed to work out pretty well.
It worked, yeah, it did work out well. So you start working there, and now last winter is your first winter in Florida. So why don't you tell everybody how you had, we're not going to tell the entire story, but basically, I ran into Gabby here last summer at the sales, and we didn't even know each other that well back then. We started talking, you, me, and Suburban, and you said to me, you should come to Florida. You should come to Florida and work with me this winter. You told me, and that was it.
Did I do that?
We discussed it, and you told me you were coming, and you said, you should come down.
Okay.
And that was when I actually started thinking about it. I really hadn't considered it.
And it was amazing after that. I think, you know, going down there, and being able to work together, it gave me a new perspective on everything, and I learned a lot from the winter at Gulfstream. But actually, before sales night, I think I only bumped into you Preakness.
Yes.
That was the only introduction that we ever had, and then we finally had a conversation sales week last year.
Right. Yeah. And I, from my perspective, working with you, I just had fun working with you. It was great because Gabby will be working with me up here, and we had fun in Florida. So now Gabby's going to be doing Talking Horses like 4 days a week. You ready? Do you think that I was like nice down there because it was sort of your place, you know?
I heard through the grapevine you're in a rare form of Saratoga. So.
I'm going to be much less nice to you while we're Talking Horses. Are you ready for Saratoga?
In what sense?
I mean, it's just like, it's Saratoga. I mean, it's all bigger and...
Can you be ready for Saratoga?
No.
Yeah, I don't think you can be ready for Saratoga. You just have to, like, tackle it somehow, you know? Just grab the bull by the horns and go for it. So, yes, I'm as prepared as I possibly can be, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, we also, we talked about Saratoga Live, which obviously, once again, will be on MSG Network, MSG Plus, Fox Sports 2, as well as the Altitude Network, for all of you that are heading back out to Denver. We'll be done 4 to 6:30, and you were starting off tomorrow. You're going to be sitting with Jason Lewitt and Richard Igliori between them. I'll be with Tom Amos, and when Tom is on the show, you and I will be together. Are you ready to sit between two of them?
I don't know. Well, you know, it's like ignorance is bliss because I have no idea what
They're very
I'm
nice.
getting into.
They're much nicer than that.
They were extremely nicer than you
They're setting you
were
up.
today. Jason, Richie, you know, we were talking about everything on the set, which the new set on the rooftop is gorgeous. We got a bird's eye view of everything, so really looking forward to that. Working with them, working with you and Maggie as well, and the new shooter, Tom Amos. So I think we've got a pretty solid crew going forward.
I think we're going to have a great crew. It's going to be a great summer, and obviously we hope all of you come to the track, but with these shows, if you're not able to come, you can be on the TV from 4 to 6:30 every single day. And it's a big undertaking. I think one of the things we're doing it, and you and I were together in Florida, people said, well, we'll bring Gabby up to help out with the shows, and I don't even remember if I think it came about while I was down there. Is that true?
I think so. It was definitely in the winter months. I can't remember whether it was February or March.
We managed to keep it a secret until Maggie actually came down to Maryland, and then she told everybody.
She did, and we all know it's tough to keep a secret in this industry.
In horse racing. So if you had to say one thing you're most looking forward to while you're up here, there's so much going on, what could you say it in a couple of sentences?
I think it's just an accumulation of a whole bunch of different things, Andy. It's just, I'm looking forward to learning new things, getting the opportunity to work with a network like Fox Sports 2, getting the opportunity to work with MSG Plus as well. You guys, I think the Nair team is the most polished simulcast talent in the land. So I think that's another thing that I'm very looking forward to. And also the superstars of the sport. I mean, we call this work, but in reality it's absolutely amazing. We get to go out on Sunday afternoon and see Songbird run in the coaching club, American Oaks, and eventually Crofton. We just see amazing racehorses throughout the meet. So I think that's another thing that I'm looking forward to.
It is incredible when you think about who's going to be here. And racing, the stars, you have these stars, and obviously Sunday they leave, but they come back and a new star like Songbird. I was looking, I don't know if you had a chance to look or anybody has it, the PPs for Sunday. Wait till you take a look at the PPs for Songbird. It really sort of hits you how amazing she is. She's, what is she, like 8-0, and she's won her races, got to be by over 50 lengths combined. It's never even close.
I think it's in like the 40, I don't know. You can look at the PPs and she wins, and she actually was not, I know a lot of people say, oh, she goes wire to wire, but she actually wasn't in her most recent race, but she is undefeated in 8 starts. And the way she does it, it's almost like she just draws away from the rest of the field, whether it's by 3, 4, 5 lengths. She's never really been tested. So when is she going to be tested? She only faces 4 others on Sunday. So will that be her test?
Well, she faces Karina Mia, who's a horse for Bill Mott. It's an exceptional talent.
She is.
And it's going to be interesting because Karina Mia is a horse who has natural speed as well as stamina. And it's going to be an interesting question because they're going to have to make a decision. Are they going to be aggressive? And Julian, I should have asked Julian about this, but we had so many other things to talk about. Are they going to use her speed early? What do you do? Because if they let Songbird dictate, it's going to be so hard to beat her. But if they go head to head with her, what happens then? Because last time she did that, the horse who beat them, the Rusty Arnold horse, ran them down to Ashland.
And I think that's always an approach, especially, to be honest, in a short field. I think your hand is kind of forced in terms of strategy because you can't let a horse like that get too far out, and then if you aren't fast enough to naturally keep up with a horse like Songbird, then you're just running yourself into the ground. And I think it's probably even more difficult in a shorter field than a larger field because anything can really happen. Everybody wants to get position. Everybody's worried about where the other person is, especially a favorite like Songbird.
Yeah, and I think Karina Mia has to take it to her to a certain extent. And I think she's good enough to do such because she is a very talented horse. I want to thank everybody for coming down to the Parting Glass. I hope you're able to join us throughout the week. We'll be here every Thursday from 8 to 9. No better place to be. I want to thank all my guests, of course. Julian Leperoux, Sal Cuban, Christophe Coulon, of course, Gabby Gaudet. All kidding aside, I'm thrilled that Gabby is here. The truth is, Naira brought Gabby here to make me happy because they know how much fun we had down in Florida. And also, it wasn't fair because you were in charge down there and I'm in charge up here. So I'm going to torture you into talking horses. 3 or 4, you can't miss talking at 11:45 every day except for a couple of ridiculous days. You probably start way too early and you'll all be sleeping, I hope, and I'll be sleeping at all. Tomorrow, talking horses, the state. You pick some horse from Maryland on the way. If you pick horse from Maryland, you know I'm going to torture you, right, Gabby?
You tortured me in Florida. I would imagine it's going to continue
It's nice to be in Florida. How did I put on like 20 pounds down there? You didn't put any weight with all those lunches.
But the influx of horses that leave Maryland, I know is minimal, but I mean, I can't have the same approach with you picking New York horses because they go everywhere.
There are 98% of New York horses, and you're picking the 2% from Maryland. Are you like afraid you're going to go back there and strangers going to yell at you and say, how come you didn't pick my horse?
Actually, there's a funny story. There's a horse, and this weekend, Steve asked me, the horse's name is Bowie, named after David Bowie.
Oh, that really is.
I had a joke with Larry Coleman saying, it's not who we raised about? No. Maryland, baby.
We're out of time. We're done. Thanks a lot for coming. Come back next Thursday, the Thursday after that. Thanks, everybody, for coming. We'll see you soon.